Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
All right, this is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I am here with Katrina, the Bloodline Killer.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And we are here with director Ante Novakovic.
Got it.
All right. Cool. So no Joel with us today. We had to do this one kind of, just quickly. We just talked with you yesterday, and now we're interviewing you. So there's a new film coming out called Bloodline Killer. Comes out Friday, April 26th. So if you're watching this, on Friday or Saturday, Sunday, whatever, it's already out. So go check it out. So we wanted to talk with Ante about the film. It's starring Shawnee Smith, which is Amanda from Saw. Tyrese Gibson, you might have seen him in the Fast and Furious films, and I don't know if he still sings, but
I was gonna say, and heard his music.
Yeah. Great voice.
Yeah. And there's a number of other people in the film too, and it looks like a slasher type of film, so we're always down for those. So before we get into the interview, we wanted to watch the trailer with you. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Ready for it.
All right. So we're going to watch the trailer. We've been doing these trailer reaction videos. So we haven't done one for this one. So it'll be cool to do it with you, and then we can ask you questions about the movie after.
Fantastic.
Okay? Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
What better time to do a trailer reaction than with
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay, cool. So you got it up?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Miss Mora, I'm Detective Cypher. Look, I know you've been through a lot tonight. Help me find the person that killed your husband.
Dad?
The killer is still at large.
I miss Dad.
We're not meant to suffer alone, so keep going.
Still trying to get to the bottom of what happened. You and your sons deserve a better life.
Boogeyman.
Skeleton is dead.
You never found his body.
There is a killer on the loose, folks.
You think it's him, don't you? Let's move.
Do you know what it feels like to be stalked? To be the prey?
No, I don't.
I hope you never do.
Open the door! Get down on the ground!
Please don't do this. I want my sons!
All right.
Okay.
There it is.
Very cool. Very cool.
What happened? I gotta check
what's
this out.
going on?
I gotta watch this. Man. I gotta go. I gotta go watch it. I'm done. I gotta go. No, I'm joking.
All right. Cool. Well,
So-
I don't know how many people know about this movie. It came to my attention a few weeks ago. I think I saw an article or something, or some sort of post about upcoming horror films. We try to watch all the new ones and review them and everything. So it came to my attention. I was like, I haven't heard of this. It's got like, pretty good cast.
Mhm.
Like what's going on? And so I'm excited to see it. We haven't watched it yet.
Great.
And
Okay.
so we're excited to see it. And so we're going to have some questions about maybe what we're in store for.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am excited to see a movie that is kind of like combines slasher and like true crime, not true crime, but like crime investigation.
Yeah.
I love investigation movies,
Yeah.
and so I'm excited to see them combined.
Yeah, that's
together.
what it looks like.
Yeah.
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 Kind of like Seven or something, maybe more slasher than Seven.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
some of that detective work.
Yeah.
On top of it.
So one thing I was like, okay, I was kind of worried when Danny was like, it's Amanda from Saw. And I'm like, am I going to be able to separate her from her character in Saw? Because I mean, she turns into quite a villain in Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, okay. And she's like, at first I'm like, oh, she seems like she's, a great mom and everything. And then there's this one scene where it's like I don't know where they are, but it looks like a Saw scene where it's like dark and the lights.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh,
and I'm
right.
like
Yeah.
hearing her voice, and I'm like, oh, that's Amanda.
Yes.
It was kind of funny being pulled back and forth to like, oh, she's a sweet mom, and then, oh no, that's Amanda.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of there's a separate ability in what she does in this.
Okay.
It's great. She just does a great turn as Moira in this. She's kind of the center of it, really, the centerpiece.
Okay.
In a lot of ways. But maybe it was subconscious in the way we designed it and lit it at certain moments. We couldn't get away from it either, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is what she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen her in much else.
I know.
I'm sure she's done other things, but that's just what I think of with Shawnee
That's a
Smith.
staple. Yeah.
Oh,
she's making a resurgence. Saw it was last year, and she did very good in that. And
yeah.
Now we got this one.
Yeah. So that leads me to my question of how did you kind of choose the casting for this?
We came down to, all the elements, all the expected elements when it comes down to independent filmmaking, schedules, availability, threading the needle of who's right for the role, and going through that whole, which is kind of an involved process from beginning to end, as you go through it and kind of go, who could really give it enough gravitas, grounded nature in this world, because it gets crazy fairly quick, so, so they kind of need to be an anchor in it. And I had the luxury of working with Shawnee as a producer on another project previously.
Oh, okay.
And, having had that experience with her and seeing her, she's masterful at her work. She's just one of those, you come across actors or actresses that you just genuinely go, that have a genuine affinity for what they do and will bring it, 100%. And so when we kind of looked at Moira, it was a no-brainer, but it was touch and go as to whether or not she'd be available for it, because I think she was doing Saw kind of around the same time, Saw 10.
Yeah.
Was filming, so it was kind of like touch and go with schedule and stuff like that. Then a little time opened up and we just dove right in. We were like, great, we'll take it. Let's go.
Nice.
Yeah. So it worked out, and other casts as well, like Tyrese Gibson, James Gaudioso, who's one of the writers, and also Drew Moorline, who played one of the other brothers. The rest of the cast came into play, and everyone had just gelled in a really, really great way.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm obviously we got masks behind us. I'm a big mask guy when it comes to horror films and slashers and stuff. You got to have, if there's going to be a masked killer, the mask it's very important.
Yeah.
Some movies, they just like, why would you go with that mask? It's so lame. But this one looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm digging the mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thrilled you are. Again, another individual that I've known for a longer period of time who's been extremely generous with his talent, Howard Berger, who I'm sure you both would know from his work on Dusk Till Dawn and multiple films, amazing films. He came up with the mold.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, work with him on it. It was a very specific kind of design for it. It happened a little bit fast and furious, but like it was specific from the get-go. It wasn't random. And that's the thing. As a horror lover myself, in the same vein, it's like, we have to have
Yes.
the mask, that's going to be the thing. And it's just, as you have in the wall behind you.
Yeah.
It kind of, comes with the territory. If you're gonna, dive in, just go. It doesn't, not necessarily does it have to be something. I don't know how to put it. It doesn't have to be something exotic, or it has to mean something. I guess that's the center. It has to live in the story in some way, shape, or form. It has to mean something.
Yeah.
I think that's what rings true with the masks that kind of, have that staying power.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the horror icons have like such a unique look, and so if you're going to try to create something like that, you got to have a signature look, signature mask, costume design, all that stuff is really important.
Yeah.
Well, and I like that it is like a mask that goes with that Halloween theme, but it has something different about it, and so it's like a little bit more creepy and like dark about it.
Yeah,
and you can't really like necessarily put your finger on it, but you're like, okay, this is
who's wearing that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but it's purposeful, right? Like that was the whole, like, for the character and the reasons why it's very purposeful for what that is. There is a whole, I don't even know that we accomplished that so much in this singular film, but there's a whole, world in which why this mask came to be. It's a little bit intricate in a way, but it's specific to the character 100%. Like there was a whole storyline about, rather than just throwing a mask on someone and saying, it's just, there's a backstory to how this mask came into existence.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's even cooler. I like that.
Yeah.
So is this going to be like a standalone movie? Maybe you can't say yet, but.
I mean, we're hoping we kind of worked on it in a sense that it could evolve into a longer storyline, because there's lineage in it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm giving away too much with the bloodline, right? That's kind of in the title there. So there is a lineage to it, generationally. So, it can go forward. It can go backward a little bit. Yeah. We feel at least storyline.
Okay. Yeah.
So it has that ability.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Awesome. So a good slasher is going to have good kills and effects, bloody, gory, what are we in store for with this one as far as that goes?
Now I'm a fan of, the more blood, the better.
Okay.
I'm all about it, Yeah, I mean, it has all the elements. It has those elements. It has that kind of brutal, maniacal. The violence is there, But what drew me to is that it's rooted in a specific something. Comes out of a certain nature that has evolved over time, I guess is the best way I could put it. So there's something about what it comes from, kind of the background in it and all that kind of stuff, and the bloodlust. The origin of it, why it came to be, kind of situation. But absolutely, you cannot, weapons and the mask from it's pretty specific. You have to make a choice at some point. I don't care if you choose if it's a fork. It's a fork, great. That's what they're using. We love it. Go for it. That you gotta make it. You gotta make it its own thing.
Yeah. Looks
Yeah.
like an axe. At least from the
Yeah.
trailer, it looks like the axe
Yes.
is the weapon of choice.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Hammer axe to be.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I was seeing him like the
Okay.
way
Yeah.
he.
Yeah.
I felt like the
Yeah.
way that his movement with
Yeah.
it was very
Yeah.
specific.
Okay.
Heavier than your regular every
Right.
day.
Yeah.
It's kind of got that hammer end on it. I was just like, my God, this thing's so brutal. What do you know, I kind of play, we were in the developing and stuff, and I just thought this thing is, I mean, what would you do? Like, how it's
What is this for?
multi-operational. It's just like you can knock a whole door down with it. And like, I mean,
Is
instantly terrifying.
Is it
Yeah.
like the axe that Jack used it or Jack
From The
Nicholson?
Shining?
Yeah.
From The
Yeah.
Shining?
I'm like, wait, what was
no.
his name in the movie?
Oh, jeez, what was his name? I'm now
Johnny.
I'm going.
No,
Yeah.
It's Jack. It's Jack. His name's Jack.
Is his name? His
Here
name
comes
Jack makes it Jack a
Johnny.
dull boy, right? That was it.
Yeah,
Oh
Over
yeah,
and over again
Jack.
makes
It
Jack a dull
was
boy.
Jack. Okay.
I was just going back to that scene at the typewriter when she coms in. She's
Yeah.
been writing nothing but
Yeah.
Jack makes Jack a dull.
Torrance. Jack
Okay.
Torrance.
Yeah, Jack Torrance. No, that was more. That's more like a fireman's axe. I think that might have been more of a fireman's axe.
Okay.
This has so much more weight to it. Like this is horrifying. I held the weight. When we finally got it, down to okay, this is the weapon, and we kind of I held it. Felt the weight in my hand. I was like, oh my! Like one swing, it's going through anything that's in front of it. Really,
So you use
So that's
a
cool.
legit hammer axe. This isn't like a prop. This is legit.
Oh no! I mean for the I've been around a minute.
These are actual real kills.
I've been around a minute. No. We're basing it on right. So we did
Right.
No, but that's cool to like really be able to tell the story.
We tested out the
on.
ones. The actors that survived during rehearsals were the ones we used. The ones that we don't talk about. That was great. No. Safety first at all times. Try not to, bludgeon people in the head for real. It makes it hard. If you do that, you always got to do that. That's their last scene because if you ever do them after that. It's
one take and that's it.
Sorry.
So as far as the story, were you part of the writing for this?
I was approached with this script by the Gaudioso twins and myself and my producing partner Rob Simmons when we first met up, got into the whole storyline, spoke to them about it, and I worked with them very closely. We pretty much stayed within the framework of the original script I had read, and I got drawn into the world of this family.
Okay.
For me, it was a familial story. It's kind of a metaphor for a dysfunctional family dealing with secrets.
Okay. That was going to be kind of my next question of it sounds like there's kind of the story than just that surface story.
Oh yeah. No, there's layers to this. It keeps on twisting and turning, which drew me to it, drew me to the world, drew me to the kind of atmosphere, the idea of paranoia and also trauma and where it lives within a family, like post-traumatic experiences and kind of where people, how different family members deal with it,
Okay.
kind of lives in that space as well, which is really interesting. The fractured nature, like broken pieces and trying to put them all back together, but they really, when you break something, it never really exactly, right? You can glue it and stick it, but there's still, you can always see like there's a finite crack right here or something, kind of thing. So that's what drew me to it in a visual reality, and just trying to understand the characters and kind of going on the journey with them and them all having the arcs within the story, which was interesting.
Okay, awesome. I really like movies that are set around the Halloween season.
Right.
Halloween, the original Halloween. That's my favorite horror film. So do you feel like you guys were able to capture the season of Halloween? From the trailer, it looks like
Yeah.
you were able to. To me, that's like so important when it's a Halloween season.
Yeah, I think we did spend a good portion of production, production design and whatever we needed to pick up shots to capture that kind of timeline. I think we did a really good job. We were on the East Coast, shot on the East Coast. I exist on the East Coast. I live in the East Coast. And so that's a pretty specific time of year, leaves, just the mood and temperature of what's going on and the build up to Halloween itself. But yeah, we went out and got some really great organic footage of different locales and stuff like that. So we kind of really built that into it because we knew it played into it. It's seasonally Halloween. Is it Halloween? I don't think it's exactly Halloween, but date out. But it's within it's in the playground.
Okay,
for sure.
Great, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when did you guys do this? When was the filming and everything?
2023 mainly. We shot, which was, that's kind of played into a little bit. We had to do some pickup work and stuff like that around that to capture part of the season, but we went into the summer, 2023, which is interesting, because it's not exactly that time period. But we focused on, the scenes that we had to during that time period because we had a time frame in order to film certain talent out. And so we worked during that time period. I would say summer 2023, basically, June, more or less.
Okay.
There was some stuff shot before that, and then there was pickup work that we had to do, additional photography to capture.
Cool. So it was less than a year ago you did the large chunk of the filming and everything. Okay, awesome. So I always am curious about like when movies are released and like why. So this is, it takes place around Halloween, at least from what I can tell. Why is it coming out now?
Good question. I think horror exists as a, year-round event now more than ever before. And we, originally, I think there was a through line of trying to get closer to Halloween. Everyone felt that the film was ready to go, and distribution companies have their own timetables and timelines. And so, they felt it was a good time to kind of interact with the horror audience and go out with it earlier than Halloween. And I've come to respect that more so over the years, that, horror really does exist all year round, as opposed to, and I know the film kind of delves into that arena as Halloween, but, I think horror can exist outside of the realms of, it's broken free of the bonds of being a seasonal kind of, as I look at, I go to the theaters and watch everything I can that comes out to this horror, obviously, all the films that have recently come out, and every other week there's a new one, which is great because I'm a horror fan. So like keep coming. But so I think the idea was to, go out with it. And then, I think, it'll still be around at Halloween season, obviously, for people to check out.
Well, like Late Night with the Devil. I don't know if you were able to catch that one yet. That takes place Halloween. Too. So and that just came out.
And I don't think that it like we've talked about on the podcast that there's certain ones that it's like, ooh, that movie would have been much better if it had come out during the season that it was meant to be. And then there's other ones that it's like, no, that one still did a good job. You didn't feel like you needed to be in that season to meet that. So Late Night with the Devil, I didn't even think about the fact that, this should have come out in Halloween. I was just stoked and pumped about it. But like we talked about Night Swim, that came out in January. And watching that in January, I was like, this movie is gonna hit so much different when we watch it in June.
Yeah, and like the
During
Yeah,
the
right. No, I
season.
know. Night Train. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Was weird. I did watch. I did see Night. I
Yeah.
saw both. I saw Late Night. I saw Night's one. It's interesting that you said it because yeah, you're exactly 100% right. Because January felt like I wouldn't be outside. Like seeing people in shorts going into a pool, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm freezing.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so I can't even put that. It doesn't mesh in the head, right?
Yeah.
It's like what?
yeah. For
I
some
can't
reason,
feel
it
the
made it
sun.
a little harder to get into the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. Like in the dead of January, no leaves on the tree. Like East Coast.
Yeah.
It's like you haven't seen the sun in about 3 months.
Yeah.
You know, so you're watching people at a barbecue, like
Yeah.
what are those people? Where do they live?
Yeah.
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 Go ahead.
Well, mine's totally off track.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You've said that you're a horror fan.
Yes.
And I guess this movie kind of shows that.
Yeah.
And are there other genres that you are a fan of? What would you say is your favorite genre?
I mean, without doubt, like horror is, I cannot be honest, but horror is one of my favorite genres, like across
Okay.
the board, like legitimately one of my favorite genres. But I generally love film, like across,
Yeah.
It's action, thrillers, dramas. I don't really, I don't have much of a filter when it comes to what works.
Yeah.
I'll watch. It's like
Yeah.
I just love film in general, right? Across, so whatever's working, it's like if someone tells me something's great in whatever genre it is, I'm a fan, like instantly.
Okay.
But
So is it different based off of like directing a film versus a film you want to watch?
oh yeah, I mean it's a completely different. I mean, yeah, it's a completely different approach. If I'm doing something that is more dramatic, in a sense, yes, different in this in the sense that it's not kind of hitting those same notes, maybe.
Mhm.
Approaching it different, approaching the whole world different visually.
Yeah.
You approach it different. You're there to service the material,
Yeah.
right? You mold yourself to it as opposed to it molding itself to you. Like, if I kind of came in and said, okay, there's no lights in this scene, and we have guys like, this is a romantic comedy, man. And I'm like, oh. That's where it could get problematic, so it's just yeah.
Well, and it seems like there's kind of a little bit more leeway with horror where you can get kind of crazy and ridiculous.
You can expand on those worlds and really challenge it, and the visuals you can go and push, and horror seems to be around where sometimes the harder you go, it's well received, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think of films that I watched recently, it's like the further they push it, the better off. Horror is definitely one of the genres you can absolutely explore that, which is what I love about it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what are some of your favorite horror films?
That was my next
question. Okay. So I grew up, let's say the time periods when I was a kid, like the first ones that initiated me to horror, I'd say the ones that kind of stayed with me the longest for taking up residency in the back of my head, pretty much. Omen, Damien, the original ones, the original Candyman, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which we spoke about, Poltergeist, Exorcist. And those are just off the top of my head. And the more modern, I'd say, that I've seen that I've kind of stayed with me are Smile, Barbarian, the remake of Candyman, which I thought was really well done. Like it stayed with me, certain. And across the board, I mean, I've seen the more recent. You have Late Night with the Devil, and stuff that keeps on coming out. So it's always evolving. That list just goes. For days. I'll get off this and go, oh, I should have said there's like 30, 40, 50 more films I'm going to rattle off, but it's right off the top of my head. Those are the ones that live, inside, that have residency in the back of the head.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We've been doing this for like 4 years now, 4.5 years. And every year we do a top 10 of the year for just horror. and we always come up with lists for like different decades or different subgenres and stuff. It's just never ending. You know, there's so much good stuff, and then there's some not so good stuff too. But
even the not so good stuff is kind of good in its own way. It's so weird. Like now I'm thinking of People Under the, is it People Under the Staircase?
Oh
People Under the Stairs.
That's another one. Residency in the back of the head, right? Like it's just I think I watched that film, I don't know, 100 times when I was a kid. I could not stop watching that film. It was so bizarre.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know, the reactions were off. I didn't know if I had to laugh or cry or
It's the only genre that you can be really, really bad, but at the same time it can be so entertaining.
You know, you could see, like, I think like one that comes to mind, was it The Thing? No, not The Thing. Carpenter's The Thing. I think it's Swamp Thing.
Oh, okay,
you know, the really bad Swamp Thing back in the day with a rubber latex suit where you imagine the green rubber, and you could see it. It was so, like you could see it. And I recently rewatched that because I was kind of recalling it, watching it as a kid, and going, God, and I just watched it again, and you could see all of it. But I can tell you, as a kid, I was frozen with fear. It's unreal. Like you see it through a kid's eyes, and also you see it as an adult. You could see all the latex, you see all the rubber, you see everything moving. And still, there's something so amazing, so good in its own way. And I was like, wow, you know, it's like, that's what makes it, that's what makes it a genre that like lasts, or, you know, and all those films are special in their own way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at your filmography, and it looks like you, at least from IMDb, you have a lot of stuff going on. A lot. It looks like in new production, and it looks like you're credited as writing and directing a lot of these projects. So can you speak to either your past or your future?
Yes, I've done, I've been around the industry for, let's say, 35 years. I've worked with I've had the luxury and great opportunity to work with some great talent, and work with their companies, with Harvey Keitel, Colin Farrell and his company.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I managed to be on a lot of film sets due to that, where I learned a tremendous amount. And with my own work, I've been doing projects, independently for the last at least 10 years or so. And so we have, there's a slate of films upcoming, something called The Fix. There is Man Checks Into a Hotel, which is a straight horror. Truck Stop, which is another horror. And there's a bevy of projects that were kind of pre-production oriented, we have lined up, and it's just a matter of which one goes first, which one we'll tackle first. But there's a love for each one of them in a very specific way across the board, so it's a matter of which one goes, which one lands.
So are they all written in?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
These are all written, and the ones that I've written, yes, they're all written, done and ready to go.
All right. Wow, I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
So I also saw it was Tubi as part of the studios. So Tubi is, there's ads on Tubi, but it's free, and there's a lot of horror films on there, and they're doing a lot of recently they're doing originals now.
Yes.
And so that's, what do you know, like how that came to be?
I think Tubi's kind of expanding its universe. It's really trying to tackle the I think they started off as as a site, as a streaming site, obviously, and they collected films in the essence of like library, basically, so people could go in. I think they started getting more involved in the process and realizing putting out new content catered to what they have now, which is an audience, gets the viewership in line with what they're trying to present. So I think they've been coming to the table in a big way, ever since they made the change with their ad and their design and all that too. I think that signifies the shift.
It's they're no joke now. They're competing with some.
They're playing now for sure. They're definitely in the realm.
So it's
Yeah.
only a matter of time until we're gonna have to pay for membership.
Hopefully they're making enough off
Probably.
the ads, but
Probably. Yeah. They're ad-based right now, but probably they're gonna have to work that in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, they're definitely in the playground for sure. They're not joking around. They're serious about what they're doing. Yeah.
Okay.
So, where else can we find Bloodline Killer?
Bloodline Killer is going to be available. So it's not Tubi is way down the line at a certain point, so it's not going to be available there for quite a while. It will be available Apple TV, Amazon, I believe, and all the regular usual suspects as far as streaming.
And it's coming to select theaters, right?
It will be in select theaters. It will be select theaters. Not many, but a few select theaters in some of the major cities. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
We're in Sacramento, so
I was looking. It's not playing around here.
Not around here.
No,
Is it not?
No,
That's it. I'm gonna get on the phone with the distributor right now. As soon as
Yeah, let them know.
We want to see it in IMAX.
IMAX theater. Come on.
You better get a screen up and ready for Danny and Katrina. It's definitely a movie. It's definitely a movie worth seeing if you can get to the screen. It's definitely a movie worth seeing on the screen for sure.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we're definitely gonna check it out. And then we'll do a review on it as well.
Great.
Let you guys know, our thoughts on it. And so you've got some stuff coming up. What was your favorite film that you've directed so far?
That's tough. So far.
Yeah.
I have to say it's always got to be the one that you just finished, it's got to be that, I mean, look, I did one titled Sanction Evil just before this one, which I really loved. Great cast in that, by Trevelyan, Tara Manning, who's also in this as well. A lot of Zach McGowan, a lot of other great actors in that that came on board to play Chris Tardio. That I really love doing. Really love how it came out. But you kind of do your next one and you put everything into it. So I would have to say, hands down, currently would have to be Bloodline Killer.
Okay.
Right now.
Very cool. All right. Well, we're looking forward to checking it out. It's sometimes, because we're recording this on a Thursday, sometimes on our end at 9:00 we'll get some of the new ones that we can stream because it's midnight on the East Coast. So I have to check. We'll check later tonight. Maybe we can watch it tonight.
We can.
Oh yeah,
we're not gonna wait till midnight. If we have to wait till midnight,
right till the stroke of midnight, right.
But if we
don't turn into a pumpkin. Don't turn into a pumpkin. Right. Someone was asking me that today. They're like, "Is it available at midnight?" I was like, "Let me call my contact at Apple." I was like, "They don't have a contact at Apple," but I don't operate their switchboard. I'm imagining there's some guy in the night shift that's like, "Oh, I'm supposed to right." My imagination is some guy with a lunchbox that's just like, "Oh, that's right, I got to switch that on at midnight." Don't know how that works.
Right. Okay. Well, so we can find this on all the different streaming places where you can rent films. So go check that out. And we look forward to watching it. And maybe we can have you back on sometime when Truck Stop, or you said Man checks into a hotel.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, I like that
title. Everyone kept on telling me, "No, you can't use it as a title." I was like, "I gotta use that as a title. It's odd."
That's a good title. Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I
heard it,
it
I'm
makes
like,
sense.
"Oh, I want to see that."
Good. Okay. Well, I'm hearing it from the horror folks, right? That's
I like the simple titles.
Right.
Something about the simple titles intrigues me. Like, there's a new M. Night Shyamalan movie coming out called Trap, and I'm like, okay, that's a good title. It's just
great poster.
Yeah.
From inside the cello with the hands coming out. I mean, you got me.
Well, and a long title is
Yeah.
sometimes just so fun
Yeah.
that you're like,
Yeah, a
okay,
friend
I'm
of
not
mine
going to
was in a
forget
film.
that.
A friend of mine was in a film titled "The Man That Killed Hitler and Then the Bigfoot."
Oh.
I had to watch it. It was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
There's a dude out there that killed both these people? I mean, God, why would he kill Sasquatch? Why would he kill Bigfoot? Like, I just
Yeah.
couldn't put
Yeah.
it together in my brain. I was so
Yeah.
curious after. I was like, now I got to watch it.
Yeah.
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 Does this mean that Bigfoot and Hitler have something
Well,
to do with each
were they
other?
plotting this whole time?
Yeah, do they
I
know
didn't
each
understand. I was like, I got to get to the bottom of this. I don't care I don't care how long the film is. I'm in. There's no way. I need to understand this.
Yeah. All right, cool.
All
Well,
right.
thanks for coming on. We'll let you know our thoughts on the film. We're gonna review it, and we'll have you on again sometime soon.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Well,
Thank you both
All
so
right.
much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
all right. This has been Scare Talk. Sleep tight.
Don't let the Bloodline Killer bite.
All right. That's me.
See ya.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.